It's time for Breaking Chains with the P31 Ladies Night, where we will have open dialogue with our women on issues of personal, family, and more. It's Breaking Chains with the P31 Women on YAT Radio.
Good evening, good evening. God bless you. This is Pastor Kennedy coming to you for the first night in a long time, Breaking Chains, P31 Ladies Night. I pray that all is well with you. Tonight we have a special treat. We have our host, Dr. LaTarsha Holden, and our guest speaker will come in a little later, and her name is Terica Wright. Dr. Holden, how are you doing tonight?
Hey, Pastor Woman of God, I am doing well. I'm excited about tonight's show, and I'm just looking forward to having a great time.
Amen. Amen. Well, I would like to go ahead and let everyone know that Breaking Chains has been on and off for many years, and it has saved, it has broken chains, it has set people free. And we have been down for just a few months, but we are coming back full, head on, strong, and with the vision. Dr. Holden, would you like to just kind of talk to the audience tonight and kind of give them a little brief history or just a description of who you are, as opposed to just hearing your voice and not being able to put a voice with a name?
Yes, man. I tell you, you know what? I am still in awe of just how awesome God is, that he did not forget about the homeless woman in Atlanta, Georgia with the 6 children. In the past 12 years, he just has continued to blow my mind. In the past 12 years, he has just saved me from all against the odds. I went from being homeless in the streets of Atlanta with my 6 children to a political candidate in the 2017 election, went from a GED to a doctorate degree in leadership studies and an author of 12 books. And I'm a servant. I'm just here to do whatever he called me to do. I made a vow that when we was homeless, I made a vow to God that if he brought me out of hopelessness and homelessness, I'll go back and fight for others. And that's what led me into running for city council. And I'm just continuing on this journey. Whether I'm speaking, motivational speaking, facilitating workshops, wherever he sends me on assignment, I'm just trying to do my best to show the love and compassion of Jesus Christ.
Amen. Well, I tell you something, Dr. Holden. I have been privileged and honored to read information, blogs, and books about your story. And you are a very popular but yet encouraging inspiration to a lot of people. And you had no idea that you could touch the heart of a little old girl down here in Mobile, Alabama, did you?
I did not. Oh, my goodness. I did not. God. Wow.
See, it's
awesome.
amazing when we go through things in our lives. We may not understand why we're going through things and for what reason we're going through things. But then it comes to a point in our lives where we are a testimony for others. And we never know when or where, how, but all we know is that God is a good God. And if he could bring you out of darkness into the marvelous light, we can't do anything but rejoice and serve as a testimony to others. You know, it's amazing because we look at the situation now and with the government and everything, and we think, well, you know, it's just getting like this. But no, I beg to differ. We have been going through hard times all our lives. We've been without, we've been struggling, we've been single parents, we've been from broken homes, and we have done nothing but survive through the help of Jesus Christ. So you can't tell me that when you have these political views and you have wrong people in wrong positions, that they hold a candle to what God can do. they don't have a heaven yet, we start to tremble and get a little, tired when it comes down to a man. But don't we know that if we can just continue to look to the hills from whence cometh our help, knowing that all of our help cometh from the Almighty Father and nobody else.
Nobody else.
Just continue looking and moving forward.
Oh, my goodness. Woman, she's trying to take us to church, y'all. Y'all hear, right? We trying to contain it, and but you know what, and that's the reason, for tonight discussion. I was thinking, and I want to just talk about, has dating changed, for women of standard? Do the women of standard have to compete with the women with the enhanced body parts? Are we living in a time where, if you're not overly sexualized, that you don't even get noticed by guys anymore? I thought about when I seen, and there's a question. My good friend, we was in the MBA program together, and I just love her personality. So I was thinking, I said, if I was a young girl today, and I'm just keeping it real, I'm an ordained pastor, but I said if I was a young lady today, and I see that the people that are making, becoming millionaires are the Cardi B's and the Nicki Minaj and Kim Kardashian, I said, well, it's easy to say the young girls are going astray, but then you got to think about it. The people that they see that are making it out, these young girls in the hood and other communities, they want to be able to take care of their families. They want to be able to wear nice. They want to be able to do the same thing, So my question tonight is a couple of them, and we're going to have a fun time. All we saying, because somebody made Cardi B rich. It wasn't just people in the world. It's probably some people in the church, So all we saying is it's okay to twerk. All we saying is it's okay to be half naked when you're rich and in your certain way, because we'll make people rich, by doing those things. Or is it frowned upon when you're in the hood and you're low income and you don't have money, but it's okay when you reach a certain status to be loved and admired? You know what I'm saying? So I'm always sending the world mixed message to our young ladies that, okay, if you're broke, you're considered, how else can I say that word? You're considered what they call now, I guess, not ladylike, with the new word thought and other. Always saying to the young ladies, always saying to the young ladies that if you're broke, you're not ladylike. But if you're up to millionaire status, it's okay. You're being who you are. So always send mixed messages to the ladies. So. So I just asked my good friend Terica. She got a great personality. I said, come on, let's dialogue about this. And has dating changed now?
Well, I tell you what, I think that this is going to be a great night because you've already laid out the format that we're going to talk about twerking and dating and underage sex and what kind of signals are we sending out to our young ladies. But I want to take a break for just a few minutes and see that we can get some more speakers. I do realize that Miss Terica is coming on, and I just want to play a little music for just a few minutes to kind of get everybody in order. And if that's okay with you, Dr. Holden, we're going to play a little song and come back and be ready to just tackle some of these questions and statements because, we really do need to know what kind of signals we're sending out to our children. And listen, not only our children, some adults.
Yes.
Some adults. Yes. So I think this is great, and I'm excited. But if you all would just stay tuned, we shall be back in just a few minutes. I'm going to put us in a quiet room for just a few minutes, and we shall return. Okay? Stand by, please.
All right. Awesome.
Lying here again and wondering if I should even get up and go to the church again. No one but you know all the issues that I struggle with. No brotherhood, no bonds, ain't got no real friends. Been raised up praying, singing songs and passive listening to preachers telling me about righteousness and wage of sin. They say your spirit will always show me just what to do. Don't understand, is it me? Am I missing you? I've been going through this long enough, trying to wear a smile, but I can't even hold it up. Not afraid to walk alone, but I need some love. God, my heart is crying out, I'm yearning for your touch. Oh Lord, change my mind, change my mind. Lord, I need you to change my mind, change my mind. Trying to share with a brother what it is I'm going through. Distractions of this world, a woman, money, yes, it's true. Pressure to measure up the standards that I know ain't real. Got the job in school, he said I know the deal. Put his hand on my shoulder and he said just pray with me. I said I did that, brother, nothing changes, can't you see? I need a brother who is willing just to walk with me. A confidant, a mentor, accountability. I've been going through this long enough, trying to wear a smile, but I can't even hold it up. Not afraid to walk alone, but I need some love. God, my heart is crying out, I'm yearning for your touch. Oh Lord.
You're listening to Breaking Chains with the P31 Women on YAT Radio. You're listening to Breaking Chains with the P31 Women on YAT Radio.
We are back. Thank you so much for holding out and listening to a little bit of that nice song that we just played by Drew Tony called Changed. And right now we're welcoming you all back to P31 Ladies Night with Dr. LaTarsha Holden and our guest tonight, Ms. Terica Wright. How are you doing tonight, Ms. Terica?
I'm doing good, and I'm so glad to be on the call tonight. I'm ready to talk.
All right. Well, Dr. Holden has already laid out a format, so I'm going to let you all just go ahead, and I'm going to chime in as I can.
All right. You know, I'm so excited, y'all. This is my good friend. We have spent the whole year together in the MBA program where we gave up our Saturdays for, 15 months from 8 to 5. So I just love Terica's personality. So this was the first person that came to mind who I know is going to give it to you straight, real. And so, Terica, my thing is this. First, I'll just three questions I think I threw out there earlier before you came on. Have dating changed? Are women of standard now have to compete to get men to notice us with the women that have enhanced body parts? You know, everyone, the big butt shots on their end, the breast implants. And so let's tackle those two before we get into them. So what do you think now about the dating? I know you're married, but I know you probably got some single friends. But so what do you think about the dating scene now?
So I believe as women, the dating scene, I feel like it has changed, but I think that it's really changed more so on our behalf. I think as women, we have truly forgotten our values because honestly and truly, in my opinion, it's not that hard. And and I'm married, but there, honestly, even if it was the wrong man, okay, I'm going to tell you about me. When I was dating, there really wasn't one guy that I wanted that I wasn't able to get, period. And it's when you know and understand your value, it ain't hard to get these men, child. Like I said, may not necessarily have been the right man, but I got them all, okay?
Look at them. So do you think, I mean, like today, you know, when they just had the Super Bowl here, I heard a lady call in on a radio show, and her girlfriends did a girls' trip to come here, and she was like, you know, the guys was done, you know, they had major strippers here from out of town, all over, and, you know, they was more interested in the strippers, the women who had all the enhanced body parts, and, you know, it's like, you know, they wasn't really paying us no attention. So do you think that because of women are overly sexualized, and with the twerking and every video you about see now and every post on social media, has that taken away from guys want to settle down? And, you know, because it's so much out there now.
Absolutely not. And I know that response sounds crazy, but I believe that purity issue is, and that's with the woman. So I talk to my girlfriends all the time about relationships, all this, and they always are like, why are you always jumping down on us? Because I think that everything starts with you. And so a lot of times, you know, we want to look at outside factors about why we can't, you know, do this, or even when it comes to dating. But honestly, that's a security issue. If you feel as though a woman, you know, who's a stripper or with enhanced body parts, you know, if those women kind of are filling the space for good women who are not even saying that they aren't good women, but if we think that those women are basically taking all the shine from women, regular women like me, child, I ain't got no extra body. It's the one God gave me, and probably McDonald's gave me. But but I think that it's absolutely a security issue, because the man, honestly, the man that you want isn't the man that's running after the stripper. You understand what I'm saying? So the man that you want is the man that wants a woman that's like you. So I think the focus has to be different in order to attract different. You know what I'm saying? And I think the confidence also has to be there. I don't care. A woman can walk into a room with a booty from here all the way to the door. She ain't got nothing on me. That's how I feel.
All right, okay.
And that confidence really does transcend in a room. I've been in a room full of women, and I know I ain't the most gorgeous one in there, but, you know, the attention and the attraction comes my way, because a woman who's confident is ultimately the most attractive woman.
Okay. Oh, my goodness. And I'm pretty sure we have some, like you said, some of my friends might just disagree a little, you know, with so much going on. I mean, I don't know. To me, personally, I think dating has changed from 20 years ago. It was more about commitment, and I don't know, because Atlanta's like the new Hollywood now. Is it all about
correct?
someone?
Yeah.
Who can I get with that's going to be the next big thing, or who, do you feel that people are looking more for a commitment now or a come up in relationships?
So I feel like you got a little bit of both, and I do understand that a lot of people are in it for, a come up situation. So I do get that, and I do understand that the climate of dating has changed. However, I believe like attracts like. You know what I'm saying? So if you are one that's truly looking for commitment, things of that nature, I believe that you absolutely can attract that. Now, speaking about dating 20, 30 years ago, I think that I don't necessarily know if that was a good thing if the first thing that's on our mind is commitment. Because my parents were one. They were married literally till death do they part. Okay, they were high school sweethearts, married 30-plus years, and I don't necessarily know that they were the happiest. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of I really appreciate the fact that people are more so taking their time and people are leading with, building a solid foundation such as a friendship and getting to know first than, jumping straight in. We like each other, so we got to get married. You know what I'm saying? So I think that there has to be a balance.
Okay. And I think maybe I forgot the age difference between you and I forgot. I'm trying to see. Me and you used to mess with each other at school because you always been a little firecracker. Yeah. And so let's see, my oldest son will be 30 in June, so I don't know how much older are you over him. But you know, you ain't gonna say it. Okay. Because I'm just, let me ask you this: are we telling young ladies, some teenage girls, in society as a whole? We see Cardi B is famous, Nicki Minaj, Kim Kardashian. My thing, even as an ordained minister, I even try to put myself in the young girl's position now. Everyone is basically twerking. That age, they're twerking, they're half nude on social media. Everyone's turning around, taking the butt shot pictures, and they're just doing different things. But can we blame them? Because when I was growing up with Felicia Rashad, it was a different world. It was a different type of women. Can we blame the young lady that's in the hood who feel like, hey, Cardi B got rich like this, and y'all support her, so I want to be the stripper. Or are we saying that it's wrong if you're low income, it's wrong if you're in poverty to be that? But once you make a millionaire status, we support you, and we say that's just her personality. Always, always sending mixed messages to the young girls, and then we want to go and bash them 1 minute, but we're making people, millionaires who come from stripping, and every time they get on stage, you know what I'm saying? So what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I definitely think that it's tough, these days, for young girls to embrace a standard. I think it's tough because of what's always, plastered on social media and TV. However, I think in order for our girls to get a different message, it's got to start in the home. And I think that that value system of who you are and whose you are, loving who God created you to be, I think that has to start with whoever is raising you. So, for instance, I have Nina. I adopted her when she was 12, and so now she's 18. And, Nina went through a very turbulent childhood before she got with me. She actually, one of the craziest moments, but right before I got her, her mom actually shaved her head or butchered her head, actually. So her mom dealt with some, some things, and we don't hold that against her. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But I was, until we can get the little peach fuzz to grow, okay, we did, we did the braids, and I think we did braids for one round. But I was very particular about, and this is just an example of how we can start instilling in our girls self-love and self-worth. I was very particular and very strict about her not wearing weave. I think we start those things so early with our daughters. The weave, the false nails, the lashes, the makeup. See, those things, if we start that so early with our young girls, preteen, early teenagers, we aren't giving them time enough to embrace, because during those years, middle school, early high school, those years you truly are learning to love what you see in the mirror. And if we are so quick to plaster on the false hair, all this other stuff, the enhancement so early, then it's kind of like, to me, by the time you become an adult, you never really got a chance to love your own hair. You never really got a chance to just kind of look in the mirror and go, man, my skin is all right. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So with her, I was very particular about making sure that she loved what she saw already. And that because she loved what she saw, the hair, the nails already, when she puts in weave and then when she finally takes it out, it isn't a big difference. I know some young girls, they don't even like how they look without weave. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To me, it starts with simple things like that, instilling self-love, self-worth. So, you know, I get what's happening on the internet, social media, things like that. But I think as mothers, we have got to become a little bit more strong so that we can instill that self-love and worth in our daughters.
Okay, but, I mean, Nina was lucky to find, you know, for God to place her with you. But what if she would have stayed with her mom? What if, and her only way out was saying, wow, you know, I mean, people love Cardi B, and she stripped. You see what I'm saying? Because the reality is, a lot of teenage girls and young ladies are growing up in homes that are not healthy, and they want the same. They want just what Cardi B has. They want to bring their family out the hood. They want to do nice things for their mother, and you know, and do nice things for their children. So, but then society, for the ones that are in the hood, they are, you know, I guess what they would say, well, you know, broke or don't have this, uneducated. But if they see them in the strip club, they get called names, or if they see them doing this. But then they also see, the young girls also see, well, I mean, y'all take up for Cardi B when people come at her. Why y'all downing us when we trying to get to where she's at, or downing us when we trying to get to where Nicki Minaj at? You know what I'm saying? Or do you think society is playing a picture where it's okay to be them if you're at a certain income bracket? You know, if you're you know, rich and famous. But when you don't have it, you know what I'm saying? Or we send a mixed message. When these girls, this is who they, yeah.
I'm going to keep it, you know me, doctor.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to keep it 1,000. So, first off, I'm actually a fan of Cardi B, okay?
And I like Cardi, but she keep it real.
Right? You know, I like her music, and I get it. You know, it gets a little vulgar, but, you know, it is what it is. She's a rapper. And I think when I see her, the message more so that I receive from her is, A, it's okay to be exactly who you are and still excel. I get, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, the message that she portrays isn't completely negative, if you will. I think the negative message is low-hanging fruit. I think that if we look deeper into her background, where she comes from, who she is, the fact that she has remained who she is, and, you know, is now, you know, winning Grammys, things of that nature, I think, and she's overcome a lot. You know what I'm saying? I think that if we look at that, I think that message supersedes the fact that, you know, she has a fake booty and that she started in the strip club. You know what I'm saying? I think the strip club, I think that storyline is kind of low-hanging fruit, you know, for who she is. And if I had to be honest, when I was in college now, I mean, I wasn't too far from the strip club myself. Like, can I be honest?
No,
when I was in college, it was definitely a consideration of mine as well. You know, even so far as to, okay, like, I just stopped it right there. Not that I ever stripped or anything like that, but it goes back to the only thing that kept me away. Now, I do believe God sent me a messenger, someone who turned out, you know, at the time, you know, like a friend, and kind of taught me out of the crazy idea. But I think also it went back to what was instilled in me. You know, it's almost like the prodigal son. Just as you're about to go astray, like, you go back to the foundation. Like, my mom put the word of God in me. My mom, you know what I'm saying? Like, she instilled certain values in me. And I think that even at the point of I had made the decision to strip, that is what kept me, you know, off of the edge. You know what I'm saying? So it goes back to parenting and how we're raised.
And I agree with you. I mean, even when we was homeless, that thought definitely crossed my mind until I called a friend and I told her my little short aspirations, and she was like, "Girl, you've been to make friends with everybody. You will not work in the strip club. That is not the environment for your personality." I'm a job, but you know, and it's not just about. And I'm just using Cardi B as a because I like her personality because she was. This is who she. You know, her personality before she got rich and famous is still the same. And it's not really about her stripping. It's, no, even for me, when because she's come so far, when I turn on anything she's doing, I mean, if it's not twerking, if it's my thing is, do we give her a pass? Because she's out the strip club now. She's out. Do we give her a pass? And then look at the young girls that come on social media, and they're trying to make that. This is their way they think they can come up as well. Do we look and say, look at them? You know what I'm saying? Do we look at them differently? Then we, because they got some people went through worse than Cardi B. And I'm just saying, Nicki, I'm just using because she's like the main center for the younger millennials now. But some people came through worse. Is that do we have a double standard when we see a young girl that's out there stripping or working the streets and she's trying to come out of her horrible situation? I'm just trying to say, are we just sending the message that the church look down on a young girl? She come half dressed, or she, you turn on Instagram and you see all these half-naked photos, but then we see Cardi B performing other people, and she, do we give her a pass? I'm just trying to say, do you feel society gives certain women passes and then look down on other women who feel like that's their way of coming up as well?
I mean, I guess you could say that there is a double standard because, if you put it like that, because Cardi B has reached a certain level of success. So I think when you reach that level of success, people then do begin to give you a pass. However, I don't think Cardi B has gone without the ridicule because I think someone was commenting because I think she covered the magazine, Bazaar magazine, and that's a very high-end magazine, if I'm not mistaken. And someone was saying, oh, yes, she's so classy. I love her, da-da-da. And I read the comments. The comments are always crazy on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
And somebody was like, right? Somebody was like, classy. Like, did we forget that before she got famous, when she was on Love and Hip Hop, all she did was twerk, talk about, oral sex and other things, folks. So people definitely still hold her accountable for who she was prior to now. But I think the world as a whole, because she's on such a larger stage now, I do think that people are kind of like, all right, it's fine that she came from the strip club,
Okay. And I'm even not just her past. And I don't really, and people, I like Cardi. I don't really listen to the music, but I like her personality because I saw that she was the same person. It ain't like she switched up in her personality. I like that part, being true to who you are. My thing is because we have so many young girls and young ladies from teens to early 20s, feeling like I have to turn, that came from abusive homes or homes where they were getting abused, neglected, molested, and they went to the streets. Do you feel like the church, have we abandoned them? Do we not show them the same love? You know what I'm saying? I mean, or do you think the church, the society?
So here's the thing, and I don't mean to cut you off. Here's the thing about the church. So the reality is we don't have enough people in the church that are equipped to deal with those types of individuals, those types of women that come from those backgrounds, because we don't have enough women in the church who are honest enough like me to say, yes, I too thought about being a damn stripper.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Like, and so excuse my language, but like that infuriates me because when people get saved, they forget where they came from. So they forget, and that's the reason why people still love Cardi B, because in her videos, she never forgets where she comes from. She lets you know. It's like, I'm a millionaire now, but I remember when I was on the pole stripping for ones, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of people, they get to church, they get saved, they get way too good. They forgot that they too fornicated. They forgot that they too much slept with somebody's husband. Okay, they forget that they forgot. You know what I'm saying? So it's like people, and it all is under the guise of, I'm saved by grace, and like because, I mean, if I had been, my mama was the same way, you know, and I think that's the culture. She didn't mean anything bad, but the culture of the church is to literally wash away your sins, right? That's what we say God does, wash it away. And so as God has washed away our sins, he washes away our memory as well, and all we do is pray, right? I guess. So whatever.
And anybody that's listening, that's tuning in, I have nothing against. I've just used her because my heart goes out to anybody. When I dropped out in the 10th grade and had 4 kids by 22, I just, anybody that's like the underdog or the hopeless or feeling like, you know, my life is over, and I just wonder, you know, is there just a double message? You know, because my love of compassion, I definitely understand what it feels like to be hopeless and lost. And my friend probably would have encouraged me that day. I called her when I said, "Girl, guess what? I was thinking about going to the strip club." She just started laughing. She said, "I'm laughing because you got a nice body. You got that." She said, "Girl, you're not even cut." And she said, "You're not even cut out for that kind of, you know." But what if because I was at a desperate moment. You know, so I definitely understand that when women or young ladies feel like, you know, this is what I have to do, I just don't want the young ladies to be ridiculed for something that society made one lady rich off of and then put down the others. You know what I'm saying? So what do you
it's
think
just that we
medium?
Yeah, and I think, you know, just going back to, you know, example about our churches, I mean, like, I think women need to hear, you know, like, me and you, like, you have literally pull yourself up by your bootstraps and you are a doctor. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have your doctorate degree. Like, they need to hear that I was too in your shoes. Like me, you know, I'm a real estate agent doing all these things, speaking and all this other stuff. They need to hear that I too was there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's really, if we're going to try to be the light and try to be, you know, the difference, like, we have to just remember. That's all.
Oh my goodness! I just think this is a hot topic. I think today our young girls are lost, and like you said, you did an excellent job with Nina. I definitely instilled in my daughters and my sons leadership skills. I'm just excited that they're all leading, but it definitely was a struggle. And moms, if you're out there and your daughter, you feel like she's, you know, lost to the street, I just want to let you know you did the best you could. We don't know, you know, who has the bigger influence sometimes over our kids. It can be the friends, it can be peer pressure. So I don't want no one who's listening to the broadcast to feel like, man, I failed. No, you did all you knew how to do. You know, that's all. But my thing is, mothers, we cannot be our daughter's friends. I have my children, let me see, my son's oldest 4 is 30, 28, 26, and 25, and I still maintain a boundary line with my kids. You know, and so we cannot be friends. You know, I'm not hanging out with them. If they going out, you know, say they have a couple of drinks, my son come in town, you know, he just retired from the Marines, and I just don't go out. We're not friends like that. You know, so I you know, so and I maintain that even when we was homeless and going through, and I was at my lowest, I didn't have anything to offer my kids, and I just want to say, mothers, that's a word of advice from a sister who loves you dearly, that our children are watching everything we say and do. You know, one thing my son told me, you know, when he graduated from the Marines boot camp, and I just asked him, I was just jokingly, and I said, son, how did you make it through the boot camp? I said, you didn't work out like the recruiter told you before you went in, and he just said, Mother, I thought about you. He said, when we was homeless and people laughing at us and nobody wouldn't help us, he said, you could have started drinking, you could have started drugging. He said, you're a nice looking lady. You could have did stuff for money. He said, but because you didn't, you know, you didn't tell us to do something that you wasn't doing. You are modeled by example. So they're watching us.
Yes.
They are watching. So that just, you know, I just want to, you know, it just, you know, wish that, like you said, more women in church be transparent. You know, where I had 4 kids by 22, just because, and this is the thing, Terica. I had 4 kids by 22, but it was other girls, and I wasn't promiscuous. I was in relationships, you know, but it was more girls probably had, you got with abortions, you got birth control, probably had more. What I'm saying, you can't knock one person just because you didn't actually birth a baby, but then you can say, well, shoot, man, all the guys I slept with, I should have had a, that's why we can't look down on nobody. Because if God was to drop the big screen TV down and show us, a page of our book, you'd be like, oh, don't show them that about me. I don't want nobody, to know that. And that's why, like you said, I definitely agree with you. When the women in the church, they're like, you know what, girl, I thought about doing that. I even thought about doing drawers, or I tried. Just to be real, so the young girls will be like, oh, I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Exactly.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Right, that can keep a lot of people away from making a decision to see that I don't have to necessarily take this route and still be successful. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They need to see the end. Yeah.
But you said, I just want to interject right now. I don't know if we're going to a commercial break, but I just, when I was running for office, I met 2 or 3 guys along the journey. And they knew people who knew people. I probably could have, got endorsements. And my thing was this. I realized when we was homeless, I came up with this resolution for myself. How you start something is how you're going to finish it. And so I just said, if I got to act like I got to like you to get something, if I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have something that you stand on as a woman, as a man, just something. A firm foundation that you're going to stand on as you walk in this journey out, or you're going to be pulled in every direction.
That's it. And wow, I can only imagine. Especially in that arena, you scratch my back, I scratch you, or that sort of thing. Except, instead of embracing the mindset that I'm going to win off of, good faith and my own merit and hard work. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I stood on. I guess people knew my story, and people play, and that's just a test of the enemy. People play off, okay, she was homeless, she's the underdog in the race, she don't have an endorser, she don't have a campaign manager. Well, I come on, tell her, and these people did know people, but I just refused. I said, I'm not going to start something. Because you're going to have to say that thing all the way. You know what I'm saying? There's no middle ground in that. How you start something is how you're going to have to end it. And I just said, that's it. I got to go to sleep, feeling pretty good about myself. If me and God been together all this time, I'm good, brother. I'm good. So I'm good. That's it. That's so caught up in that foolishness. That's it, because you're right. Your entire time in office, and, child, it would have been, you would have had to, like you said, see it all the way, and you would have been like, oh, no. Yeah. But people holding stuff over your head and yeah. Go ahead, sis. Kudos to you, though, because you definitely ran a grassroots campaign organically and to still get so many votes. Like, what was your place? Was it third, second? Well, you know what? It was 8 of us. Something like that. And, let me see. It was 8 of us, and I might have came in 5 or 4, but you got to think about it. I'm the only one that didn't have a campaign manager. I was the only one that have any endorsement. So I was really grassroots. I mean, I didn't even know anybody politically. So I'm coming from a high school dropout, just the struggle, just pushing. And so the lady that won, she had $50,000 to my $1,500, and she only made it to the runoff by 400 votes more than me. So there you go. See? Yeah. And so I was proud. It was an honest campaign, and I did well for my first time out. Yep, and you going back out again? All right. I'm going. Going back out. I'm already speaking it for you. Going back out. But thing, people are asking me, Dr. Ho, you gonna run again? And now my name is out there more. I think I would have the help that I need and stuff. So I'm just excited. And the reason I'm telling to any young ladies, anybody listening, there's gonna come a time where you're gonna have to stand. You just have to stand alone. I'm born and raised in Atlanta. I have about 200 family members here. Nobody came on board to help me with this, and it's just gonna have to come a time you're gonna say, you know what, this is what I believe God is calling me to do, to fight for the people. And it's going to come a time you're going to have to make that decision. Right. So I remember Yeah, I remember when we were in the MBA program, and I remember saying that to you, like, you need to run for city council. So I mean, sometimes, you know, what we deem as a setback is really a setup. So like you said, you know, who knows? It could be city council, it could be something else, you know. But the fact that you ran, that does now give you leverage, you know, namesake, more projects, more recognition for something else. Who knows? But you know, thank you for your obedience and your willingness to get out there, you know, in an unpopular race and, run it.
Girl, you know, I think what I learned when we was homeless, that as a leader, I had to realize I was willing, because of my love for the people. I made a vow, and it was funny because the word got around, covered those forums I wasn't invited to. And then the other district, they came and said, Dr. Holden, word here, they more scared of you than you scared of them, because they know, the people knew I was not politicking. I was actually coming to fight for them, you know. And my thing is this: I just remember that Lord, thank you, Holy Spirit. Sometimes the enemy try to snatch a thought because somebody probably needs to hear what you're gonna say. But that right there, I had to realize as a leader, I was willing, and the people knew that I was willing to be lied on, talked about, ridiculed, you know, just to serve them. And I think that's why I did it. Because, you know, that's, you put yourself on the chopping block when you go out there.
Yes, Lord. Yes, I tell you all the time. You sure you want the fame and notoriety? You sure? Because just as sure as they build you up to praise you, somebody is standing in the background trying to tear you down. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So I tell you, and I see you doing great things with your and I knew you would. Your personality as a real estate agent. I mean, you're just a life of the party with me. You know, what's about a couple years older than my oldest son. It's about 33 now.
Look, I ain't gonna tell
you.
You
ain't over 35. I know that. Baby,
no, I'm not. I'm 32.
I'm
32 years old.
You're just a couple years older than my baby. But I have always been drawn to you. And this is what women have to do, give each other compliments. Because I struggled so much, and we talking about 12 years ago, I was 35 when I was homeless with 6 kids, with no money, a GED, and I was lost in the streets of Atlanta. So I'm always drawn to confident people. And I have always loved your confidence. I'm just drawn. It don't, some people get intimidated, but honey, I am, because I wanted that. I wanted to be confident, and so you just one of the first person I met during the MBA program. Your confidence is just bubbling, and I was just, I got to get my girl on here. She's going to keep it real, and your confidence is beautiful.
Oh, Lord, and look, I'm sorry. I done started cussing on the show. Done said the demon. Girl, this is a gospel show. Forgive me, y'all.
but you know what? Sometimes just you gotta keep it real and have honest conversation like this. But I knew you was gonna do it. That's why I said that's gonna be the first.
You knew I was gonna do that.
I knew something gonna come out. I just said, Lord, I hope this is gonna be too mad at me.
That's why folks like, oh, you gonna be a preacher? I'm like, no, I don't want to get up and flip and cuffing. Nobody pulpit, please.
Oh my goodness! So, do you have any words of advice to any young person, young lady, teens in their early 20s, even just women, period, from your experience that you can give them who probably don't have that loving home, or and just young girls? You took Nina in, like I said, Nina was blessed. A lot of young people don't get that opportunity to really be around loving parents. So, do you have any words of encouragement to someone on the line?
Well, so the first thing that comes to mind for young women, even young girls, and just women in general is begin to quiet your heart and learn how to journal. Like journal and meditation. Those two things will essentially, journaling, okay, so what journaling does, it kind of empties you. So a lot of times as women, we walk around with a lot of stuff on our hearts, our minds, our chest, and journaling helps you to empty all of that out. And it's something about when I journal, and I used to do it every single day. When I was going through a lot, it would be every day. This was a couple of years ago. And I would feel such at peace. And sometimes when I would journal, because I always start my journaling off with just gratitude, thanking God. Even if I didn't feel like today was worth being thankful for, it's like, Lord, thank you for opening my eyes, and I would just go from there. And it would just provide me, like I said, with such peace in the moment. And then after that, meditation, so just getting really quiet and still. God, it's like I could hear the voice of God so clear, because now I've emptied myself, and so now I'm sitting still to be filled. You see what I'm saying? And so the first thing, that came to mind was like, oh, tell young women to get a mentor. No, because sometimes when you are walking around with so much stuff on your heart and mind, you attract the wrong people. So what you want to do is you want to be very intentional about emptying yourself so that God can then fill you. And when you're filled with the right stuff, you will become a magnet to the right stuff, to the right people. So journal, meditate, pray first, and then be led by God's Spirit. I promise you, those two exercises, journaling and meditating, set you up. You'll be surprised. You start making acquaintances. And you're like,
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Now you said something about journaling. Well, it's interesting because people might think I love to journal because I wrote 12 books. I don't like writing. I do not like, you know what, I move on assignments when I feel like God, everything I wrote, you got my personal life story, you have 4 children's books. Anything I've written is to promote love and kindness and friendship. So, and advocate, so I only write when it's assignment. I feel God has given me an assignment to put out into the world. But journaling is good. I think I did when I was younger, but I don't know, Terica. Maybe I might be just pooped out. I mean, I was in school 10 straight years. And I tell my kids once, what do you think, Terica? I might be on.
Well, no, I mean, honestly, I know if you're at a place in your life where there seems a little, confusion, it may be a little chaotic, you may need some direction, you feel stuck, you feel stagnant. If you're in a place in your life where you feel like you just need something to change, then, yes, begin journaling. You may be at a point now, because, I mean, like I said, over the years, we've seen you be very obedient, like with fulfilling the call in your life, doing things. So you may be at a point where you feel like you need to rest, and that's okay. But if you ever get to a point where you feel like you need a word, begin to journal and begin to meditate and ask God. Yeah.
All right. I would take that. I would take it because when my kids come to me and they don't have these college assignments, and I told them, use them questions real lightly with me, honey, because you show me a textbook, I might throw it across the room.
Right.
But, I just believe God graced me for those 10 straight years. And, 2.5 years of my undergrad, we was homeless. And I'm not talking about, how people say, I'm homeless, I slept on the couch. No, we're talking about shelters, sleeping in cars, abandoned house, sometimes found, it was so hard. That journey was so hard. I remember walking to a hospital one day, and I told the lady at the desk, I said, I don't want to live anymore. She said, ma'am, are you saying you want to commit suicide? I said, yes, ma'am, that's what I'm saying. And they kept me for observation. And I just remember, Terica, they had this padded room where they kept people who was really a danger to themselves in. And I just asked the lady every day for that week I was there. I said, ma'am, do you mind if I go in that room? She said, ma'am, you don't have to go in there. I said, I know if I need to go in that room and pray. Now, I wasn't raised in the church, so me and God got to know each other in the trenches, which made me feel like he was trying to kill me. Because, how many of you know that God does not relieve your pain just because you're crying and begging? So,
right.
That was, so for me to get to know him is such a vulnerable place, and he did not come to me, but felt like he did not come immediately. God, I'm homeless. I got these kids. I'm crying. I don't know what to do. And you would have thought he would have let me, he didn't allow too many. I think what happened, because what the thing is, it's okay when you go through something for a month or 2 months, but what happens when your struggle outlasts your strength? And so I'm trying not to go there, but what happens when you've been in this thing 2 years, 3 years, 12 years, the one with Bishop, but what happens when it's like, and so that journey has got so hard for me. My kids was embarrassed. I didn't have the basic necessities for them, and so it was I just walked into that hospital, that padded room every day for that week. I dropped down to my knees. I cried out, I don't know who you are. I said, but I need your help. God, help me. I don't have any money. I'm done. You know, in my mind, I'm 35 years. I don't have nothing to help me. And girl, I tell you, when I left out of there, the wind, I felt the refreshing to go from associate BA to MBA, step to the PhD. And so to see my 6 children leading, that's why I tell you the last 10 years was the hardest time of my life, but I do believe it was necessary. The crucible was painful, but it was necessary.
Yeah.
There's no way I would be who I am today if I had not gone through what I went through.
Yeah. And that's what I recognize about struggle is that our struggle in our lives is so purposeful that even when you're crying and you're like, God, you have to stop this now. God will not. You know, like it ain't no, God ain't coming down off of the throne to be like, okay, we place you in a brand new house now. No, because you stay in that thing long enough to get what you need to get.
Yes, ma'am.
And it finally, once you've gotten the tools, because that's a struggle provides you with the tools necessary to not for nobody to give you the house before you to build your own. Whether that's build your strength, build your character, build your confidence, build your integrity. You see what I'm saying? So,
that's it.
Man, that's powerful.
That's it right there. Oh my goodness, Lord. So
and
people who are
you
listening,
get the lesson, you ain't coming out.
you ain't coming out. And now, girl, I'm so dependent on God because He done brought me. There's no way I could have written 12 books in a year and a half on different genres, from children's book, youth series, a training manual, my life story. There's no way I could have did that. And He gave me the grace to do. I remember when I was in a PhD program, a lady said, "Pastor, I ain't trying to be funny, but where do you have time to write anything else?" And we got all this work. And I said, because I knew my calling. I heard the cries of the people, so I wrote a youth series that deal with teens, dating, violence, sex trafficking. But I became disciplined. I remember a professor at Beulah Hunter University, Richard Good, Professor Good said, the world belongs to those who are disciplined. And so I just now, and so that's the thing. Through that process, God taught me how to be disciplined, and that's how I'm able to, was able to accomplish things and keep going. But I tell you, I enjoyed having you come on, sis.
Yes, this is good.
Yeah. Do you want to give the audience some things about you if they want a real estate agent and give out your information?
Yes. If you are looking to sell your home in the Atlanta or Georgia, I'm licensed statewide, or to purchase the home, you can always find me on Instagram at Terrica Wright Real Estate. And Terrica is spelled Terrica, Wright, WRIGHT, Real Estate. I can be found there. And, so this is amazing. And I dashed home because, as a matter of fact, I was showing houses really late tonight.
Oh, okay. I seen you was at Tuskegee a couple of days ago giving them a talk.
Yes, I went to Tuskegee because down in the city, the great historic city of Tuskegee, they are looking to rebuild, and they wanted someone to talk to them, from a real estate perspective, why it's important to rebuild. And the importance of real estate. But yeah, so I dashed home to make sure I was on this call, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity, and it's been really good, like enlightening. So I appreciate you, and I'll be glad to come back anytime.
I'm going to have you back, so if there's anybody who want to call in, show some love before we end the broadcast. Pastor, is there anybody else calling in? Do you see it in the lines line up, or they just listening in because Terrica and I got it going a little hot tonight? Well, I tell you, if you're in want to get to know a little bit about me and look for a dynamic speaker, someone that's going to come out there and touch the hearts of your people, you can reach me at www.3elements, ELEMENTS, Inc.com, 3elementsinc.com. That's my website. I'm on all social media platforms. Hey, contact me, book me. I would love to come out there and motivate the people. And you know what, Terrica? It's not just women. I've even had men call me or email me and say, Dr. Holt, I just want to let you know, your story ain't just for women. I just wrote you to let you know that after hearing about your story and how you did it with 6 kids, I have went back to school, and I want to let you know that this semester I made all A's. And because of you, I told my mother and grandmother, these are grown men. They're grown men.
Yeah.
You know, people just looking for, I just need a little inspiration that if I keep going,
that's it.
there is light
That's
at the
it.
end of the tunnel.
That's it.
So that's it. And so I'm glad for this broadcast. Thanks to the producer who saw something in me and said, hey, come on and be the host for Breaking Chains, Proverbs 31 Ladies Night every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm definitely going to have you back again. And it was nice having you on the call, Terica.
Thank you so much. Y'all have a good one, okay?
All right. Love you, sis. Tell them I said hey.
Love you, too. I will. Talk to you
Bye-bye.
Soon. Bye-bye.
All right, then. All right. We're going to close out my words of encouragement to whoever's still listening on the call. Remember, my mentor once told me to own your space. Own your space. You deserve to be here just like the next person or man. I realized that when me and my kids and myself found ourselves in a homeless situation, that no one was going to fight for us but me. So most times, you have to get in that ring, and you got to get ready to fight. You got to get, not physically, but spiritually, and you're going to have to come up with a why. Your why is going to get you through them hard moments. It was nice time chiming in with you guys. Tune in next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is Dr. Holden. Peace and blessings to you all.
You've been listening to Breaking Chains with the P31 women on YAT Radio. Tune in next week, same time.
Go to our website,
blogtalkradio.com/YAT Radio, or call in 858-357-9137. It's Breaking Chains, YAT Radio, where we leave a mark that can't be erased by breaking the chains of silence.